Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. We're here to do the final conclusion of the Jumpstart challenge. So we've already opened up the Dominaria and the Brothers War Jumpstart boosters. We had some good luck, we had some so-so luck. So now let's take a look at the what I call the real Jumpstart, Jumpstart 2022. Let's crack it open and see what kind of themes we get and what kind of value we can find inside. And if this one is worth, I would say, roughly twice the price of the other two. So let's go ahead and pull out our 24 packs instead of 18. So you do get more cards for your money. But does that mean that they're actually worth more? Let's find out. So let's just go ahead and start cracking these open. I have opened these up with double wrapping and no wrapping. So it looks like these are going to be the ones with the double wrapping. And I found the best way to do it is to actually slice it open in order to get into the packs because the outer seals are really hard. All right, so we're going to be treated right off the bat to a really good hit. All right, there we go. So Spicy is going to be a mythic theme. Now, when there's a mythic theme, that means that there's only one variant instead of 4 for commons and 2 for rares. So right off the bat, we're going to see Auntie Blight Bad Influence, which is going to be a pretty good hit for us. And there it is. And then behind that, we're going to see the Loxodon Warhammer. And then we've got an Impending Doom, a Goblin Artillery, followed by a Goblin Psychopath, Ravenous Giant, Spewer, the Fire Slinger, the Smoldering Efreet, the Coal Hauler Swine, followed by an Aftershock. Then we get a Sarkhan Rage, followed by the Thriving Bluff, and then we should just have a collection of mountains in the back, and we do. All right, fantastic. So that was a really good way to start off this box. So let's just keep on going and see how many mythic themes we can pick up, because that really is kind of the thing you're looking to do, is to get as many mythic themes as you can inside of one of these. I think the best I've done is 5. All right, so we are going to see Fangs. Now, Fangs is just going to be a common theme at a black, which means that there's 4 different variants. However, just because it's a common theme does not mean that you're not going to see value. So we're going to see Tyvash Gloom Summoner as our rare, with an Oathsworn Vampire in kind of the anime art. Then we're going to see the Blood Artist. Then we've got a vampire, Blood Bond Vampire, with an Ancient Craving, a Creeping Bloodsucker. That's going to be valued over $1. Then we get a Vampire Envoy, Marauding Blight Priest, Nirkana Assassin, Moment of Craving, Ill-Gotten Inheritance, Certain Death, with a Thriving Moor, and our Swamps in the back. Now, the basic lands aren't going to add any value. There is, unlike Jumpstart 1, there's not a specific singular Jumpstart land to any of these packs. So they are Jumpstart lands. They're not featured in any other product. However, they're just not high value and not sought after. All right, so this time we're going to see Morbid. This is going to be a rare theme in a black, which means there are 2 variants. And this is going to start off with a Reaper from the Abyss. That's going to be a pretty decent hit, or a pretty decent mythic, I should say. So we'll go ahead and track our mythics and see how many we get. Then we get a Disciple of Perdition, a Mortuck Banshee, Spawning Pit, followed by a Bone Picker, Suspicious Shambler, Tragic Slip, the Wake Dancer, followed by Liliana Steward, a Durable Coilbug, a Village Rites, a Reeve Soul, and our Mortuary Mire with our Thriving Moor, and our collection of Swamps in the back. So I'd have to say one of the best ones that you can pull out of here is actually going to be a rare at a blue. It's called Go to School. There are 2 variants, though. One of them has the Ristic Study, which is the most valuable card in the set, and the other one does not. So you only have a 50-50 chance, even if you hit that particular theme. We are going to see, though, Teamwork. It's going to be a rare at a white, which means there's 2 variants. And we're going to see an Argos Kos Eternal Soldier coming in. With a second rare, it's going to be Taranaka, a Crowan Veteran from Theros Beyond Death. Then we're going to see the Angelic Cub with the Valorious Stance, the Angelic Protector, the Dragon Blood, the Task Force, Infantry Veteran, Cavalry Drill Master, Combat Professor, Moment of Triumph, Cage of Hands, a Sandstone Bridge, and then we're going to see our Thriving Heath and our Plains in the back. And I'm just fanning out the lands just in case, the factory did make a mistake and slip in an extra card or something like that. It doesn't hurt to look. And if we see one, awesome. All right, so this time we've got ourselves Treasure. This is just a common out of red. And we're going to see Gadrick, the Crown Scourge, followed by a Blood Aspirant, Rapacious Dragon, Koldatha, Flame Fiend, Trove of Temptation, a Goldhound with a Gleaming Barrier, Dutiful Replicator, Brazen Freebooter, the Gold Vein Pick, the Welding Sparks, the Improvised Weaponry, and then our Thriving Bluff with our collection of mountains. So far, we're doing okay. The best hit so far is definitely going to be the Auntie Blight Bad Influence. However, there are 89 cards in this set, currently valued over $1. Now, the set is 834 cards large, so that's only 11% of the cards are going to be valued over $1, with 22 mythics, 42 rares, 13 uncommons, and 12 commons, all valued over $1. All right, so we got Ferocious. It's going to be a common at a green, and we're going to see Goreclaw, Terror of Calcisma, just reprinted in March of the Machine, I believe. Then we're going to see a Nessian Hornbeetle, a Challenger Troll, Roar of the Challenge, Colossal Majesty with an Isolin Catarid, Drowsing Tyrannodon, Giant Ladybug, Gaia's Protector, Spectral Hunt Caller, the Rosethorn Halberd, the Savage Punch, followed by a Thriving Grove, and our collection of forests. There are 46 different themes in total, and because of the mythics only having one variant, the rares having 2, and the commons having 4, there are a total of 121 different combinations that you can get out of these. So you won't get the entire set, or you won't see every single theme inside of a box. All right, so we're going to see Scrying. Scrying is going to be a rare out of blue with Kenosis, Priest of Thassa, coming in as our rare. That'll be our only rare, with the Biblioplex Kraken, Cryptic Serpent, Perilous Voyage, Interpret the Signs, Preordain, a Fairy Seer, Sage Rose Savant, Moonfolk Puzzle Maker, and Octoprophet with No Escape, Raider's Carve. Then we're going to see ourselves a Thriving Isle, and our islands in the back. All right, moving into the last pack in stack number 1. There we go. We are going to see Blink coming out of white. This is just going to be a common theme here. And it's going to have a Restoration Angel, followed by Preston the Vanisher coming in. Preston is going to be valued over $1. Then we're going to see a Distinguished Conjurer, Brightmare, Valor of Arcos, Faith's Feathers, Flicker of Fate, Cavalry Drill Master, followed by an Inspiring Overseer, a Valorious Steed, a Rambunctious Mutt, Settle Beyond Reality, and a Thriving Heath, with our planes in the back. We just hide that dragon to make sure he doesn't take up any focus. All right, moving into our next theme. All right, so we are going to see Think Again. This is just going to be a common out of blue. And this is going to contain, though, a mythic Jace, Arcane Strategist. Jace, unfortunately, not high value in this set. And then we're going to see a Spectral Sailor, Fairy Vandal, Serum Visions, Memorial to Genius with a Soul Read, a Merfolk Pupil. Then we've got an Ikite, Mystic Skyfish, Teferi's Protege, Tome Anima with a Steel Gaze Griffin, a Drag Under, and a Thriving Isle. And just our islands in the back. So I'm hoping that we get to see at least 2, if not 3, mythic themes. And I'm specifically looking for the Urza's theme. And if we get it, you'll see why. All right, so we've got Holy coming out of white, which is just a common. But this is going to contain Lyra the Dawnbringer. Very nice to see that. Lyra is valued over $1 as a mythic. Then we're going to see an Angelic Cub, an Emancipation Angel, Starnheim Aspirant. That's going to be another card valued over $1. All right, and we're back. We had a little camera glitch there. So we got a Defy Death, Chains of Custody, Pilgrim of the Ages, Stalwart Valkyrie, a Dawning Angel, Anointer of Valor, Light of Hope, Divine Arrow, Thriving Heath, and our collection of planes in the back. All right, moving on to our next theme. Whoop, that did not go well. All right, here we go. So we've got Experimental coming out of red. This is going to be a rare theme, so we're going to have two variants. And we're going to see Ignite the Future, followed by a Mizzix Replica Rider coming in. Then we get a Young Pyromancer with a Grotag Night Runner, Seize the Storm, a Lightning Axe, Thermo Alchemist, Spellgorger Weird with a Catalyst Elemental, a Goblin Researcher. Then we've got ourselves a Firebolt, an Electric Revelation, Thriving Bluff, and our collection of mountains. So we'll take just 1 second here and we'll just kind of reset the stage since I did knock everything over and make a mess. So here we go. Moving on to the next one here. And if you happen to be a member of the channel, right, you can go ahead and jump out to mtgboxanalysis.com and you can download the full analysis even before I release the videos, usually about 30 minutes ahead of time, so you can follow the inventory as I open them if that's something that interests you. So we've got ourselves an Insects here. This is going to have Zask Skittering Swarmalord as our rare with a Karul Harpooner, a Nantuko Cultivator with a Circuit Mender. Then we're going to see a Crawling Sensation, a Caustic Caterpillar, followed by an Iron Shell Beetle, another Giant Ladybug with a Karul Forgers, Moldgraph Millipede, Relentless Pursuit, Hunter's Edge, Thriving Grove, and our collection of forests in the back. All right, so I'm starting to get a little bit nervous. About halfway through the box here, we've only seen one mythic theme, and to my recollection, we have not seen any cards valued over $10. So maybe we can get lucky here. All right, so we just got Zombies, another common out of black. And this is going to have Liliana's Mastery, followed by a Deadly Plot, Lord of the Accursed, Undead Augur, Cellar Door, Suspicious Shambler, Shambling Ghoul, Crow of Dark Tidings, Marauding Bone Slasher, Malefield Twins, a Dead Weight, Cemetery Recruitment, and our Thriving Moor with our basic lands in the back. All right, next theme is going to be Gigantic. This is going to be a rare out of green. And with it, we are going to see Renati Behemoth Collar coming in. Valued just over $6, so decent little hit there. Then we get a Thrashing Brontodon, Towering Gibbon, Woodborn Behemoth, and Enlarge, Naga Vitulist, Ondu Giant, Colossal Dreadmaw, Havenwood Worm, a Pounce, followed by an Overgrowth, Gift of Gargantuan, and a Thriving Grove with a collection of forests. So nice to see we got a little bit of value out of that pack. It doesn't necessarily, I mean, it does kind of matter what rarity you get. Obviously, the mythics are typically going to have a better hit, but the commons and uncommons definitely do hold some value. So we got ourselves Boneyard here out of black. This is going to be a rare, and with it, we are going to see a Shadowborn Demon coming in. Unfortunately, not a high value mythic, but we'll go ahead and put it down there in our mythic pile so we can track it. Then we get a Graveblade Marauder coming in. Then we're going to see an Ossuary Rats, a Stitcher Supplier. So this is actually going to be valued around $4 as an uncommon. Then a Liliana's Elite, Necrotic Wound, Suspicious Shambler, Ghoul's Feast, Wailing Ghoul, Gorging Vulture, Moodmark Painter, Corpse Churn. Then we're going to see ourselves a Thriving Moor and our Swamps. So we're going to see a ton of basic lands in here because every single pack is loaded up with the lands. So if you need lands, Jumpstart 2022 might be a good set to pick up because there's all kinds of fun stuff and you get a ton of basic lands. All right, so we're going to see Fairies coming out of blue. This is going to be a rare. And with it, we're going to see Stolen by Fae, And that's going to be our only rare with a synchronized eviction, instruments of war, stinging lionfish, Glen Alenda pranksters with an undersea invader, a soul reed, a spell stutter sprite, a fairy seer, pestermite, sentinels of Glen's Alendra, so tiny, with a thriving isle, and some more lands. All right, so we're down to our final stack here. I just want to let you all know that if you are so inclined, head on over to trollandtoad.com. I've worked out a deal with them to get you all 5% off any item that they directly sell. It doesn't apply to merchant accounts on their site, but it does apply to Jumpstart 2022. So you can save yourself, I think, around $6 off of the boxes if you use my code MTGBox5 at checkout. So we've got ourselves dragons here. I've noticed this one's a little bit backwards. So we've got dragons. And with that, we're going to see Sarkhan, the dragon speaker, coming in as our mythic hit. And somewhere in the middle of this is going to go backwards. So we got Sarkhan's Whelp, a dragon egg, a furnace whelp, dragon mage. Then we've got ourselves a Bogarden Dragonheart, followed by a plundering predator, tormenting voice, scorching dragonfire, Sarkhan's Rage. Then we're going to see ourselves a thriving bluff with a collection of mountains, and there's the one that was backwards. I knew something was off about that pack. All right, our next theme booster pack. Let's crack this thing open and try and get lucky, because we haven't been that lucky so far. We've got 6 mythics on the board here, a couple of rares, but only 1 mythic theme so far inside of this box. All right, so we do have the potential to be redeemed here. So we have Go to School. Remember, I said there were 2 variants of this. One has the Ristic Study, one does not. The Ristic Study is currently valued at almost $41. Moment of truth. We got the Ristic Study. Hooray! All right, fantastic. So even though this is a rare, it is the most valuable card in the set. So happy days. All right, let me just put that right over there. I was super nervous about this box. Then we get ourselves a multiple choice, not a high value rare, followed by Biblioplex Kraken, Casmina Overwhelmed Apprentice, followed by a Dismiss, a Merfolk Pupil, a Campus Guide, Teferi's Protege, an Elite Instructor, an Academy Journey Mage, Bury in the Books, a Thriving Isle, and our collection of islands in the back. All right, so that makes me extremely happy. So we have finally seen a good Jumpstart theme booster out of this box. Now, hopefully, that's not the end of it. Hopefully we get to see ourselves something really good. So we're just going to see Goblins. Goblins just a common out of red. So this is going to feature Muxus Goblin Grande with an Arms Dealer, a Volley Veteran, a Goblin Grenade. Then we're going to see an Instruments of War, a Fanatical Firebrand, a Dragon Fodder, Goblin Trailblazer, Rummaging Goblin, Goblin Researcher, Burn Bright with a Destructive Tampering, and a Thriving Bluff with our mountains in the back. All right, so fantastic. We'll move Auntie up in here, and there we go. So what do we got? We got 5 more to go. So there's definitely a chance that we could see another mythic. There are 11 total mythics. We are going to see insects coming out of green. Insects is just going to be a common theme. So let's see what our rare and or mythic is going to be. So we're going to get a Swarm Shambler coming in. Not a high value rare, and that's going to be our only rare. So we get the Horn Beetle, the Cultivator, another Horn Beetle, a Sensation, a Caterpillar, a regular beetle, a Crawler, a Ladybug, a Millipede, a Pursuit, Hunter's Edge, and a Thriving Grove with some forests. All right, I really want to see Urzas. Or I would actually also like to see Rats. If we can pull off a Rats, this box will be phenomenal. So Rats contains the second most valuable card in the set, and that's Ashcode of Shadow Swarm. I did not plan that. That just happened. Fantastic. All right, so now this is going to turn out to be a really good box. So here's rats. So it's a mythic theme. There's only one, so you're guaranteed to see Ash Coated the Shadow Swarm. Currently valued at $33.86. And then we're going to see ourselves an Ogre Slumlord, not valued at over $1. Then a Nezumi Bone Reader, Cryptic Rats, an Infiltration Lens, an Ulcerate, an Ossuary Rats, Typhoid Rats, Burglar Rat, Sinuous Vermin, Chittering Rats, an Eviscerate, and a Thriving Moor with some swamps in the back. Fantastic. All right, so those are the two best cards in the set. One would argue potentially the two best themes in the set. However, I'm pretty fond of Urza's. There's a lot of value in there. Karn is in there. So is the Walking Ballista. So you've got $25 worth of cards just in those two. So if we can see one of those. Oh, darn, I was hoping I could call it. All right, so we got ourselves Ferocious here. This is going to have a Prowling Sauropod with a Challenger Troll, a Hammer of Ruin, Roar of Challenge, Colossal Majesty, Isolin Catarid, Drowning Pteranodon, a Giant Ladybug, Ornery Dilithiposaur, it's a dinosaur, Bristling Boar, Spectral Hunt Collar, Savage Punch, a Thriving Grove, and some forests in the back. All right, awesome. Two themes left to go. I think my stack might be a little bit too high. Let me just cut that down in half. I apologize for all the video edits that are going to be inside of this one, and maybe some of my mispronunciations. Just had kind of a rough day. So, all right. So we got ourselves Boneyard here. It's going to be a rare out of black, and with it, we're going to see an Oversold Cemetery coming in. And then we're going to see an Ossuary Rats to go with our rat deck. The Stitcher Supplier, that's going to be another $4 for us. Then Revenant, Necrotic Wound, Suspicious Shambler, the Wailing Ghoul, a Pit Keeper, Spark Reaver, Gorging Vulture, Moodmark Painter with a Corpse Churn. Then we get a Thriving Moor and our Swamps. All right, awesome. Final Jumpstart Theme Booster. Will it be a mythic? Can we get 3 mythic themes in this box? Or will it just be another common? Let's find out. And I have no fear about slicing that the blade in the back there, because in the back it's just going to be a basic land. So it's just going to be a 3-cent land. Not something that really matters if it gets too messed up. Although so far I haven't cut any cards. All right, so we are going to see Speedy coming out of red. This is going to be a mythic. I don't recall what's inside of Speedy, but let's find out. We're going to see the Kiki-Jiki Mirror Breaker. That is a pretty darn good hit at $10. Fantastic. And right behind that, we're going to see an Ardo's Cobbler of War as a second rare. Then we get a Bolt Hound, followed by a Warcry Phoenix, Markov Warlord, Fiery Conclusion with a Fanatical Firebrand, a Nest Robber, Mud Button Torch Runner, Irreverent Revelers, Rush of Adrenaline, Swift Kick, followed by a Thriving Bluff, and our Mountains. All right, awesome. So give me just a moment. I'll get everything sorted, organized, run the data, and compare this to the other 2 Jumpstarts that we opened up this week. We'll begin today's MTG box analysis by examining the Jumpstart themes featured in the set. Following that, we'll compare the cards we obtained from this box with the cards in the set, and then we'll shift our focus to set coverage, theme coverage, and duplication. We'll then evaluate the present market value of the cards and analyze the observed value. To wrap it up, we'll summarize our findings. In this analysis, we're also going to be comparing today's Jumpstart 2022 box to a Dominaria United and Brothers War Jumpstart box that were opened up earlier this week. Then we'll be comparing today's Jumpstart 2022 box to 5 others opened on the channel. If you want to go deeper into the analysis and see all of the metrics for this box and more than 100 others, simply join the channel at the Give Me the Data level. Let's get things started by taking a look at the 46 different themes available in Jumpstart 2022. Each of the primary colors of Magic features 2 mythic themes, 3 rare themes, and 4 common themes. There's also 1 colorless theme called Urza, which is also a mythic. There's only a single variant of each mythic theme, 2 variants of each rare theme and 4 variants of each of the common themes. And since there's 11 mythic themes, 15 rare themes, and 20 common themes, there's a total of 121 different variants that can be found in booster packs. In today's box, we saw 21 of the 46 themes, but no duplicate variants. Now that we have an understanding of the themes, let's take a look at how this box compares to the set. Using this chart, we can see the non-foils we observed in green and the full Jumpstart 2022 set in gray as the baseline. We saw a variance of 34 cards among the primary colors of Magic, with white having 35 and black having 69. Also of note, we saw 166 basic lands in today, by far more than any other set available these days. In today's box, we saw 270 of the 834 cards from the Jumpstart 2022 set, giving us 32% coverage. Our highest coverage among the primary colors of Magic was in red, with 40% of the cards appearing in today's box. Despite seeing 166 basic lands in this box, we did miss one, and that was the only snow-covered land featured in the set, which is available inside of the theme called Snow. Pivoting to coverage by rarity, we saw 34% of the commons and 32% of the uncommons in today's box. We also saw 24 rares for 20% coverage and 8 mythics for 25% coverage. Looking at the themes, we saw 9 unique common themes for 45% coverage, 9 of the 15 rares for 60% coverage, and 3 of the 11 mythics for 27% coverage. While we didn't see any exact variants duplicated in this box, we did see 2 of the Boneyard theme, Ferocious theme, and Insects themes. From a card duplication perspective, we saw 55 cards repeated 210 times for a box duplication rate of 44%. However, if we back out all of the basic lands, we only saw 40 cards repeated 59 times for a duplication rate of 19%. Now, before we take a look at the value in today's box, let's review the market value of the cards that you can pull inside of a Jumpstart themed booster box. This chart shows all 834 cards in the set broken down by dollar category using market prices as of May 10th, 2023. Currently, there are 12 cards valued over $10, with the top 5 being the Balan Wandering Knight at $18.93, Lida, the Mechanical Engineer at $19.36, Alondra, Skydreamer at $20.34, Ashcoat of Shadow Swarm, valued at $33.67, and the Ristic Study at $41.03. The set also features 16 cards valued between $5 and $10, and 62 cards valued between $1 and $5. The remaining 744 cards in the set are currently valued under $1. If you were to add up the total market value of all 834 cards, you'd be looking at $612.74 in value. And here's a look at the value that we saw in today's box. We saw 4 of the 12 cards valued over $10, including the Kiki-Jiki Mirror Breaker at $10.33, Preston the Vanisher at $17.49, and the top 2 cards in the set, Ashcoat Shadow Swarm at $33.67, and the Ristic Study at $41.03. We also picked up 2 cards valued between $5 and $10, and 19 cards valued between $1 and $5. The other 455 cards that we saw today are currently valued less than $1. So how did this box perform? Well, I purchased this box through a Patreon agreement for $89 even. The current market price for these boxes as of May 10th, 2023 is $105.80. Today's Jumpstart booster box contained 24 theme packs, each with 20 cards, allowing us to see a total of 480 cards. The 166 basic lands are valued at $11.58. The 24 theme tokens have a value of $4.36. The 188 commons are valued at $29.81. The 94 uncommons that we saw are valued at $32.55. The 24 rares are valued at $91.53. The 8 mythics that we saw are valued at $55.91. Add it all up, and the grand total for this box comes up to be $225.74 in market value, which is a gain of $136.74, which means that this box returned 254% of my purchase price in card value. Now, for those of you interested in cards valued just over $2, the numbers look like this. In total, we saw 15 cards valued over $2 in this box, and they have a current combined value of $150.16, which means that those 15 cards represent 67% of the total box value and more than paid for the box. There isn't a ton in the way that we can compare the Dominaria United, Brothers War, and Jumpstart 2022 boxes together, as they are very different products. The set-specific Jumpstart boxes contain 18 packs, whereas today's box contained 24. What we can compare, however, are the number of rares and mythics observed, as well as the value for each of the boxes. In the Dominaria United and Brothers War Jumpstart boxes, we saw 33 and 32 rares per box, whereas today's box only contained 24. However, the Dominaria United and Brothers War boxes contain 3 and 4 mythics, whereas today's box contained 8. From a value perspective, we can compare the boxes based upon the category of cards, as well as the total market value gain and the return percentage. Using this table of information, you can see that even though the Jumpstart 2022 box contained more packs and more cards, it was not always the clear victor. For example, the Dominaria United box had the best value in theme tokens, basic lands, and mythics, thanks mostly to Sheoldred. In terms of total market value, today's box was the clear winner with $225.74 in value. However, the Dominaria United box came in with a respectable $143.87. Today's box also returned the highest gain of $136.74. However, it did not return the highest percentage of value. That honor goes to the Dominaria United box with 303% of its purchase price being returned in card value. Now that we've compared apples to oranges, let's compare apples to apples. We're now going to take a look at the 6 Jumpstart 2022 boxes that have opened up on the channel. From a coverage perspective, the boxes have been fairly consistent, seeing between 30 and 34% coverage of the set in each box. Where they have differed, though, is in the number of themes per box. As you can see, in this data set, today's box contained the least amount of commons with only 11, and the box from January 20th, 2023 contained the most with 18. Today's box did contain the most rare themes that we've ever seen inside of a Jumpstart 2022 box with 10. Today's box was near the top from a mythic theme perspective. However, there have been 2 other boxes that we've opened on the channel that both contain 4. From a card perspective, today's box returned 24 rares, which is pretty low compared to the other boxes we've opened, but today's box was tied with 2 other boxes for the most mythics at 8. From a value perspective, my cost basis for the boxes has varied between $89 and $108 over the past 6 months. Now, I've adjusted all the market prices that you're about to see for the 6 boxes to the May 10th, 2023 market prices, so we're doing a true apples-to-apples value comparison. Here's a look at the value that we've seen from the 6 boxes so far. Today's box was only the best in the mythic category, however, it did come in second place for the rare value, basic land value, and theme token value. I do want to note that the average value of the cards in each of the categories across the 6 boxes comes out to be $32 per box for commons, $30 for uncommons, $77 for rares, and $33 for mythics. Adding all of those averages together, and we're looking at $173 in average value just from the commons, uncommons, rares, and mythics. As it turns out, today's box did have the best overall total market value at $225.74, which is about $3 higher than the next best box, which was on December 12, 2022. Today's box yielded the highest gain of $136.74, which ultimately led to the highest return of 254% due to the total market value observed, as well as the lowest price point. Thank you so much for watching. I want to take a moment to give a special shout out to all of the channel members. Your support helps fund this operation and allows me to create the content that you all enjoy. If you're not yet a channel member, I invite you to consider becoming one. By joining, you'll gain early access to videos and many other perks. If you're interested in supporting the channel but don't want to become a member, there are several other ways that you can show your support. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue with the channel. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, do something amazing.